This is Messages from the Universe with Laurie Wondra of Your Life Core. Here, Laurie delivers information from the Mastery Realms related to astrology, planetary influences, energy surges, and generally how we are evolving. She connects with angels, guides, ascended masters, astro beings, and those that come forward with messages to help us on our journey. Welcome, everyone, to Messages from the Universe podcast.
Hello, I am Laurie Wondra, and thank you for listening. In life, there are pivotal moments where we have the opportunity to say goodbye, and then there are other times when we don't have that opportunity to say goodbye. The same holds true where we might have a chance to be introduced to something or to say hello to something new. We might not take advantage of those hellos. We might choose to ignore or avoid them, walk right by and not pause and say hello. You may have had the experience of someone trying to get your attention and you avoid making eye contact. You may also have a time where you arrived and someone you wanted to see had already left. A missed opportunity to take things that end and to create something to begin. We're at that point oftentimes in our life, whether it's the end of the year, the end of a cycle, the beginning of a new cycle. Life is like a sailboat. You can steer left or right, but the wind will always take you where you need to be. And sometimes the wind changes to take you to a place that was unexpected or even better than what you had planned. We're in one of those cycles right now where the universe is giving us an opportunity to say goodbye to those things that don't hold true for us anymore and to welcome those hellos for something new, exciting, or something that better fits us. Beliefs change. An evolution through the heart to change your mind is a shift we're all experiencing. There is more to you than what you've already done. You are evolving and you will continue to evolve. And what does that evolution mean? It's a collapsing of time and space and dimensions. It's a curiosity of past lifetimes. It's as if the soul knows it must look back to learn, to heal, to understand in order for it to go forward. It's a connection or a disconnection from soul families and families, preparing us for the new journeys ahead. It's our team of guides that are changing. Those that we no longer need are leaving, and those that we need for our future are entering. The astral leaders are changing, and they're being more present for us. We're connected more to those astral beings, the elementals of earth, nature. We are remembering and understanding what we need as individuals to transform. We are awake and we know we need something different. We have curiosity and a natural desire to shift our experience. It's the human spirit that says, I must change in order to continue. In our past, we may have said that we were under stress. But now we have a deeper understanding that stress doesn't come from what's going on in our life. It comes from our thoughts about what's going on in our life or what you feel you should have going on in your life. And we have an understanding that we have control and direction and impacts to how we experience our experiences. You are qualified for this lifetime as much as you might feel you are underqualified, failing or floundering, or don't understand your direction or purpose. You're actually overqualified as a human to figure it out. And that's why you're here. This is why you are here now, in this lifetime, at this time, interacting with the people and the places, the beliefs, the systems that you are experiencing now. Here in Minnesota, we're known for long goodbyes, and this includes saying goodbyes and then starting another conversation, saying goodbye again and then starting yet another conversation. If it's not freezing outside, we might take those goodbyes and conversations out to the front sidewalk, to the cars for that extended goodbye in the driveway. We struggle with saying goodbyes to things we've become comfortable with, things we don't want to see end. Even bad stuff can feel like a nice warm blanket wrapped around us, but it's time for that old stuff to go, to leave. Some people can't say goodbye and they may instead say, see you next time. The saying hello or saying goodbye also transfers into our daily lives. We avoid some hellos at risk of starting something new or changing something, and we avoid saying goodbye because we may feel afraid of letting go of something. We keep holding that energy and carrying it with us everywhere. We may not know how to let it go and be at peace of letting it go. And as we continue to evolve, there are some outdated ideas or habits that might be holding you back right now, today, that could cause a conflict between the way your life is now and the way you want it to be in your future. There's no need to make a big decision about things right away, but you'll need to be prepared to make a sacrifice when the time comes, when the universe tells you it's time to change. Don't worry though. It should be very obvious what you need to leave behind. It's the least important element of your life right now that maybe you need to say goodbye to. Something that you've attempted to say goodbye to isn't healthy for you, isn't forwarding for you. The best way to be is to know you and understand what's best, easiest, or most comfortable for you. Follow that path. And while you understand, if you do, then it will be easier for you to pick up what the universe is saying to you. Today, I offer you an opportunity to say goodbye to some beliefs or imprints you might have about yourself, others, or your community. I'm going to read a list of goodbyes, and I'll invite you to notice if there's any triggers you experience through this list. Phrases that might stick out to you, or you stop listening because your mind is playing on what you need to say goodbye to. Maybe there's some things in your life you didn't know that were holding you back or that you were holding on to, things that you hadn't thought about in the past, things that it's truly time to let them go, to make room for something new. Maybe you didn't have a thought about saying hello to something new. Just notice as I read the goodbyes, and then I'll follow with a list of hellos. And these are opportunities for a newer version of you to be illuminated or turned on. Right now, the universe is giving us a tremendous amount of opportunity to say hello more spiritually to energy that will attract better things to you, things that will fulfill you, new experiences in your life. There may be some things you never said goodbye to, and therefore you never made room for something new. You may have tried to say goodbye, but you've never really let go. It's still there, lingering, taking up space. You may have journaled, written things down, burned them in the fire, but they still seem to linger, return, or play in the back of your mind. Be willing to let these things go, to be open to trusting that you are supported. The universe has your best interest at heart. And when you say goodbye to something, you can hold the memory of it without it taking up so much space in your life. It's time for something new. There's so many new exciting codes and programs, thoughts, opportunities, and ideas that are coming to us, but it needs a place to land, something to replace what you already said goodbye to. Notice then as I read these hello statements where you might push away or sabotage what the universe is trying to give to you. You might say, no, I'll never have that. I'll never experience that. And I offer to you to just stop the thought blockage and just allow. Notice in either the goodbyes or the hellos, you have an emotional response, a thought. These are all clues to something that might be there, yet hidden, that it's time to clear away and release or accept. After I read these lists of hello, I'd like to take a few minutes and remind you how the universe is communicating to us. So let's begin. Before I read the lists, I ask that you take a few deep breaths, remembering that with each exhale, you have an opportunity to release those energetic things that don't belong with you anymore. And with each inhale, there's new energy and courage and desire to push out or release anything that doesn't belong and accept what's coming to you. Maybe you're carrying someone else's belief of you. Maybe you're carrying a memory from something that happened or something you did years ago or something you experienced. But now, today, you're a different person and you are continuing to evolve to a different human being. It is only the memory that holds you to something of the past. What might be holding you today that it's just time to let go? Take a deep breath. And as we begin, I ask Archangel Michael to give us all the courage and insight to embrace change, to release those things that are unknown, those things that might create mountains, roadblocks, dead ends for us. Help us be clear on our journey, to clear the path that is best for us. And Archangel Gabriel, give us the words, the freedom to release any heavy energy that holds us in a place of the past, maybe in pain or guilt or fear, regret, turmoil, or frustration. Lighten our energy so we can see and address life's events with peace and calm, resiliency, agility, and harmony. Let us see the humor in our humanness. Let us see our ability to pivot and shift our lives, our thoughts, our emotions, and certainly our words. Remind us we have power to uplift our beings and make changes that are healthy for us. And Archangel Raphael, be there as we explore our energy bodies, the physical, etheric, emotional, mental, and spiritual. Allow us the channels, the gateways, the pathways to access our higher sense of ourselves. Help us find and embrace the beauty and the magic of each of our areas and our energetic fields. Help us be freed from pain in our physical bodies, be freed from emotional turmoil, be freed from stifling mental processes and thoughts that limit us. Help us see the magnificence in our being. Help us see who we are as a soul and a spirit in this human wrapper. And Archangel Uriel, hear our thoughts, our words, our emotions. Help us gain surety in our beings, our path, our directions. Help us see where we can help others, and more importantly, where we can help ourselves. Take our prayers to the heavens, deliver them with all the changes needed so that we may be aligned and lived our most divine selves. Now take a deep breath. You are ready to say goodbye to those things that are no longer needed. They no longer represent who you are and who you are yet to discover. I say goodbye to any places in my life where I feel stuck or limited. I say goodbye to limits I may have created for success, love, abundance. I say goodbye to where I may feel unworthy or not deserving. I say goodbye to places in my life where I'm not sure of my path or the direction I'm to follow. I say goodbye to dread or drudgery. I say goodbye to fear or feeling alone, unloved, invisible, or unheard. I say goodbye to beliefs that hold me back or limit my experiences. I say goodbye to people that doubt me, block me, avoid me, or sabotage me. I say goodbye to scarcity, to hatred, to anger, to frustration. I say goodbye to doubting myself, to sabotaging myself, to unhealthy relationships or unhealthy behaviors or physical activities that are not good for me or my soul. I say goodbye to unhealthy mental practices. I say goodbye to being scared and closed off to experience the life that is the best for me. I say goodbye to restlessness and sleeplessness nights filled with worry or fear. I say goodbye to stress and the activities that create erratic moods or energy surges. I say goodbye to appeasing others when it doesn't serve me. I say goodbye to putting others before me when it puts my energy at risk. I say goodbye to being afraid to say no when it creates needed boundaries. I say goodbye to feeling unloved. I say goodbye to being told. I say goodbye to not being heard, to being silent and not speaking my truth and not trusting my wisdom. I say goodbye to doubting I know what is best for me. I say goodbye to being in the shadow. I say goodbye to boredom and feeling unstable and not pursuing my passions and my dreams. I say goodbye to not being present in each present moment. I say goodbye to feeling unseen, unheard, and forgotten. I say goodbye to living someone else's life. I say goodbye to just going through the motions. I say goodbye to hiding who I truly am. I say goodbye to judgments and roadblocks, scarcity and not feeling worthy. I say goodbye to chaos and overwhelm. I say goodbye to giving myself until I'm exhausted. I say goodbye to hiding from the world. I say goodbye to expectations of what I should be or how things should turn out. And I say goodbye to this old version of me. And now as we look towards the future, we welcome a new year and a new you and the realization of how amazing you are. It's a time for a reset, to remember, reflect, and certainly a celebration of what is yet to come. It's a chance for a new beginning. And here's where we say hello. And take another deep breath as you breathe in these opportunities to say hello to change. And the realization of who you were in the past has brought you to who you are today, but it won't necessarily be who you are in the future. Say hello to living with purpose. Say hello to knowing that you are beautiful, physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. Say hello to being an energetic being in transition. Say hello to being loved and loving unconditionally, to being open to all that the universe provides. Say hello to being at peace in the world. Say hello to being balanced in all areas of your life. Say hello to being in the light and living in the light and carrying the spirit of love within your soul. Say hello to being a caring spirit. Say hello to forgiveness, to trusting your internal wisdom and connection with divine light. Say hello to knowing exactly who you are. Say hello to security, stability, and serenity in your self-presence. Say hello to courage, to moving forward on your journey. Say hello to listening to when you need rest and when you need to run. Say hello to learning and listening. Say hello to being heard and understood. Say hello to the voice of your truth. Say hello to your conscious connection to all elements of the earth and energetic realms. Say hello to knowing you are loved. Say hello to giving balanced love and light. Say hello to knowing and receiving healthy love, to amazing miracles, abundance, and comfort. Say hello to living with surety and purpose. Say hello to being the driver in your life. Say hello to excitement, exhilaration, and ecstasy. Say hello to all that life brings to you. Say hello to being the manifester in your life's journey. Say hello to peace, tranquility, fulfilling relationships, and creating a life of awesomeness. Say hello to health in your physical, spiritual, and mental areas. Say hello to living the life you choose. Say hello to understanding you have the ability to shift and change all that you experience. Say hello to being aligned to your purpose in all areas of your life. Say hello to living a life that is filled with laughter, happiness, and joy. Say hello to abundance in all that you experience. Say hello to dancing, laughing, singing to the beat of your own drum. Say hello to feeling stable in all areas of your life. Say hello to being open and listening to all guidance that comes to you. Say hello to acting on your life's desires and your dreams. Say hello to being present with all that life brings to you. Say hello to the blessings of others, to being heard, understood, and trusted. Say hello to higher dimensions of being. Say hello to experiencing the best of humanity. Say hello to experiencing the evolving and changing self. Say hello to understanding your energy, and the energy impacts all as you connect to all. Say hello to experiencing the best of you, of living the best life for you. Say hello to your resilience, your vibration as a human to think, to feel, and adapt. Say hello to the experiences yet to come, the new ways of learning and discovering yourself. Say hello to how much you love yourself, and say hello to the ever-evolving version of you. And take another deep breath. The universe will continue to deliver to us teachings, clues, messages, and lessons that help us evolve. The universe wants us to heal our past, not simply escape it or run away from it or bury it, but actually heal it. We'll get nudges along the way, an affirmation that we're on track. But the universe also gives us gaps. This is a time where we get to test the waters, decide on detours, or take a break. I call this the space between facts. It's a practice time for us to learn more about ourselves and what we do or don't do in this space. The universe gives us opportunity to honor all parts of ourselves, even those times we believe we're not perfect. If you have children, you teach by suggesting, showing, and then allowing them to practice. Sometimes they don't quite get it right, but they learn by mistakes and the correction of those mistakes. They also learn the surety of themselves that they can handle those situations. Think of the universe as our parent teacher. Now might be one of those times that we're given the opportunity to fly on our own, just like children where they are on their own learning. So are we. We're learning at various times in our lives. We learn differently. We progress through our evolution differently. We move forward often because we're uncomfortable. We don't like something, where we are, what we feel. We're motivated by the hope of something different. We might think we've figured out how the universe is communicating to us, and then we evolve. We learn something new. And we are in a new age. And since we are in a new age, there's different energy coming in. We might be feeling off as you relearn or learn a new way to communicate. The messages that come to you from the universe might feel different or come to you in a different format. But the truth is the universe still supports us. The natural energy of the universe is love, and the universe will always try or attempt to get us the information that we need at the right time in the method that we can hear it. There's 7 classic ways we think and learn, and the universe uses the same intelligence to communicate with us, much like we use this with our children, or teachers use this with students. There's verbal, linguistic. The second is logical, mathematical. The third is visual and spatial. The fourth is bodic or kinesthetic. The fifth is musical. The sixth is interpersonal. Seventh is intrapersonal. And the last is the naturalist. And when we peel apart each of these, the verbal, linguistic, this is saying it. Learners enjoy and understand oral or written language. They prefer to communicate with others through speaking and writing. They often like to read, and they learn best through language, listening, speaking, reading, telling, discussing, and writing. And this might be how the universe is communicating to you, through words and stories. So you might be drawn to pick up a new book or listen to a new lecture, learn through words or stories. And the second is logical, mathematical. This is about counting. Learners love numbers of all sorts. Numbers in math, naturally, but also the numbers associated with science, social studies, and language arts. Facts and data will catch and capture the attention of logical, mathematical learners. These learners have the ability to think conceptually and to see patterns. They like to solve problems and reason things out. They need logic and facts behind any story. They learn best using numbers and analytics. And this might be how the universe is communicating with you if you learn through logical or mathematical, is through numbers. Angel numbers, we see 111, 222, 777, or patterns, sacred geometry. Which brings me to the third, which is visual, spatial. This is picture it. Learners make mental pictures and images to help themselves learn and remember. They learn best with the opportunity to represent material visually, such as graphic organizers, pictures, diagrams, creating a vision board. That might not be your style, but if you like to learn through visual and spatial, you may receive your messages in dreams, visual images, colors. That might be the new way that the universe is communicating to you. And the fourth is body or kinesthetic. This is about moving it. Learners like to express themselves and their ideas through movement. They have good large muscles or fine motor skills, and they need to touch and do things. They learn best through action, hands-on activities, and opportunities to manipulate materials. Do you need to touch crystals, look at them, feel them, or you have no interest at all? In meditation, is it about moving? Is it getting in nature and walking, gardening? Those are all moving it. and it might be how the universe is communicating to you. Number 5 is musical. You might start humming. Learners respond to pitch, rhythm, tone, or musical patterns. They might enjoy singing, rapping, or playing an instrument. They may or may not have musical skills, but they respond strongly to music. They learn best when the learning is linked to their senses of rhythm and music. We all have that vibrational sound of our humanness. It emits when we simply are present. We may be more in tune to that tone than others emit. We listen for rhythms of life and others as we hear the tones of the universe or the tones of nature. We're more inclined to listen to the frequencies, sound healing frequencies of music, 528, 432, 968. And number 6, interpersonal. We lead it. Learners are people's people. They are often good at motivating others, organizing, and communicating. They tend to get along well with others. Many are empathetic and intuitive. An interpersonal learner might use their leadership abilities as a team lead, a manager, a supervisor, an organizer, somebody that brings together like vibrations or like people. Other interpersonal learners might enjoy stirring things up a little bit. Learners with an interpersonal preference enjoy working and playing with others, so they tend to create the situations that create that opportunity to happen. The universe may deliver your message through others. Your lessons or learnings may be gifts from those you interact with. Number 7, intrapersonal learners. Reflect it. They're thoughtful and reflective. They closely examine ideas, issues, and perspectives, and they understand themselves and their own feelings about things. They like their independence and may set goals to work towards that. They learn best when allowed to reflect, share personal opinions, and work alone. You may receive your messages in times of silence. You might prefer silent retreats, silent meditations. You might hear between the sounds. Your messages may arrive with a thought, not a sound. You're thinking about one thing and a message comes in about something totally different than what you were thinking about. And lastly, the naturalist, the investigated. The learners can adjust to, adapt, and use their surroundings to succeed and survive. Some may be called street smart. They observe how systems work and can be effective manipulators, or in situations and settings, they adapt very easily. They often feel a personal connection with the natural world. They learn best when called on to figure out things and how they work. They like to observe and to investigate. And then there's the naturalists that get out into nature. They practice earthing, star bathing, forest bathing. You may connect with the elements of nature, fairies, mermaids, fire sprites, and gnomes, or you may interact better with the elements of wind, sun, water, and earth. There is no one way that is better than another. In the world of multiple intelligences, multiple dimensions, and quantum energy, we have this belief that we're limited to maybe these 8, but I'm sure there's more, and there's blended. The key is that you're aware of them and that you find that how you receive messages and learnings from the universe might be shifting, and be open to all of those as you've released those things that maybe you were closed off to or didn't believe in the past are suddenly there in front of you, and the universe is using it to teach you. At various times of our life, we learn differently. As we evolve, we will learn and receive messages differently. At various times, this information comes to us in these ways to shift us, to encourage us to engage. If you find yourself saying things like, I used to love to dance, or I used to love to read, but maybe not so much now, it's because your level of learning or experiencing life, your input ports have changed, and you need to be open to finding something different. Don't force it, but don't let it define those things of I used to, so therefore I can't, or I no longer can, but find something that works for you now. The best way is to be. It's to allow yourself to know who you are at present time, who you are today, and know, and please don't have the expectation, who you are today is not the same as who you were yesterday, and it's not going to be the same as to who you are. Follow, presence, follow who you are, and understand you can always say goodbye to something that doesn't work and say hello to something that's easier for you or more aligned with you. But let this be the time. Let this next year be for you. Let it be your time. And I'm so excited for you to discover that new version of you. I'm Laurie Wondra of Your Life Core. Thank you so very much for listening.
Thank you for listening to Messages from the Universe podcast with Laurie Wondra of Your Life Core. For current events or to schedule a private session with Laurie, please visit yourlifecore.com.